Coach, you just go ahead and make an opening statement and we'll open up for questions.
Okay. First, give tremendous credit to Indiana State. Knew coming into the game how difficult it was going to be, and understood that they had a lot of pieces in there that were going to give us some trouble. Incredible shooting performance, so hats off to those guys. They came in and did the job, no excuses. From our standpoint, obviously it's really disappointed for our fans, really disappointed for all the positive things that happened around here for such a long time, and it obviously wasn't the effort level that we're accustomed to, and it wasn't the start that we had hoped for. But it's reality, and I think that's the great thing about it is you have to address with good and bad the things that you have to get better at, and that starts for us immediately, and we have a quick turnaround for Howard. So up off the mat, clean some things up in terms of film, go back to work, and have another opportunity on Sunday.
First question.
Archie, where did you feel the breakdowns were on the three-point shooting? They made some difficult ones, but they also had some uncontested looks, it seemed.
Well, without really seeing it right now, I think at the end of the day there were breakdowns in some of the things that we do every day. There's some communication breakdowns which hurt you. We had some lack of awareness on some things, and I think once a team starts to make a few, that's when it can get challenging to kind of get them under control. And after a while, it just became a lack of pressure, a lack of detail, and it became almost shell shock to the point where you almost thought every one of them was going to go in. Like I told the guys, they're not going to miss. You have to make them miss. And part of it is, I think with our team right now, it starts and stops with the ability to guard the ball. And I think they had a great job getting the ball inside to their bigs. It was in too easy, and they collapsed us a few times. And anytime you can work inside out and you get good looks, they're going to go in. But I'll tell you this much: Barnes and Scott, those guys are really good players. Those two guys can really play, and they did exactly to us what they have been doing. And not surprising. Some of their other guys, I thought they got cooking because those two guys got cooking. They gave everybody confidence in this game. So. I haven't seen 17 threes go in at that rate in a long time, and that was an impressive performance.
Sure.
Coach, you talked about the effort level.
We're soft.
How frustrating is that?
We're soft on. We're just a soft team. You don't have to sugarcoat it at all. If things aren't going well right now, and you're playing in an exhibition game, and you're better than that team, you can cover up those mistakes. You can seal them up and get a little bit of fool's gold. But I think at the end of the day, the fight, the ability to resurge, the ability to grind and get back into it regardless of what things are going on, you're always going to be in the game. That's not there. That's going to take time. That's going to take time. We have to go through these battles like we did tonight, and we got to get better from it and find a way to have some good possessions on both ends. But just thinking in general, our resolve, the toughness, you're not going to give up 90 points at home in your home opener if you're playing hard as hell. It's just not. And that's where we're at.
Mike.
Can there be a value maybe in having the flaws exposed so early in the season, just to kind of show everyone, this is what we are?
Yeah, reality, man. You can't make any excuses. We played a pretty good team, and they exposed us in a lot of areas. So we're going to play a lot more pretty good teams. So if the evidence of doing it the wrong way or the right way isn't absorbed, the results will stay the same. And whether you won this game, obviously we've been really happy to win by 1 point. If you lose by 30 or 1. Been really disappointed either way. But the fight, the toughness, I think you're seeing a team that's having to learn how to play a new way, and they don't know how to win yet, doing it this way. In particular, some guys out there playing a lot different roles than they've had before. But I make no excuses. Indiana State was ready, and Indiana wasn't.
Coach, you said up through the season that it was going to be a tough battle and a lot of changes for them, but could you have, and Indiana State was a good team, but could you have foreseen it being this bad as it was tonight?
No, I think I've been in a lot of games where, I think I know the feel. It's going to be a hard-fought game. It's going to be a tough game. But with the way we're practicing in the group and how we've been operating, for whatever reason, we're not getting great turn-up, like great translation going from the practice floor to the court here of late. And I have to look at our start. I think the start of the game really crushed us tonight. I mean, it really did. If you look at the offensive possessions in that first 4 to 6 minutes, 8 minutes, and then you look at the defensive lapses, that thing got away from us way too quick. And that's when we don't have the ability right now to figure out how to fix it. And, we're going to get some guys playing at a much higher level, too. I mean, right now we had Deron and Juwan got some things done for us a little bit, but, we got to get some guys playing at a consistent level. And when we do that, we'll be better. We'll get better. I mean, that's the one thing I think I have confidence that we'll get better. And the guys on the team understand right now it doesn't feel good, but the only way you can get rid of that is to find a way to get the next one.
Coach, your starting guards combined for 18 points tonight. What did you see that maybe prevented them from executing offensively, and what will it take to, I guess, improve on that?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. We're not getting off to a great start, offensively, like I said. And I think it obviously starts with being organized, and it starts with me. I have to do a better job. I just have to get these guys more confident in what they're doing, because I think what you see on offense early in the game tonight, maybe even if you're paying attention to the Indianapolis game, in the half court, when we're not in transition and we're not able to get defense to offense, we struggle. We struggled pretty much, and we're learning how to play a new way of playing. But it's an unsure team of when to pass. It's an unsure team of when to shoot. It's an unsure team of how to dribble. And when you have that, you're going to have wasted possessions. Combine that with some inexcusable not running the underneath out of bounds play properly and getting a turnover. I mean, we're just we're a hodgepodge, and I have got to do a better job of emphasizing and teaching. That's what it's going to come down to. How good can we teach these guys? And they're only going to get better if we teach them. And that's what we have to spend our time with right now. I think everybody knows that we're a new group. There's some guys out there that are learning new roles. I'm confident we'll get better. I feel like they want to do the right things, and if that's the case, they stay coachable, they keep working, they'll get better, and we'll be okay. We'll keep grinding away. But this is obviously, this is a start one where you can take every negative and make it a positive, but it's a reality check.
Archie, when you say you're a soft team, does that mean guys just not being the aggressor, or does that mean not playing through fatigue, or what does it mean?
I think at the end of the day, it's one of those deals as a soft team. I sort of mean not physically soft, not incapable. I think it's more of a resolve, a mental toughness that's, we have to go harder. We have to play stronger. We got to get the job done. The encouragement on when you're down 6 or 8 or 12, it isn't there. They kind of look around, they're like, why is it happening like this? Well, I think that's the name of the game. We have to find a way to become much more mentally tough. We have to have a much more resolve about us that we're willing to keep grinding away and keep working towards getting that lead down. And I knew halftime, obviously, in trouble. The first 4 minutes of the second half, when you're at home and at halftime, you dress some things and you come out and you give up 4 straight scores. That's not good enough. So, I mean, I've been in a lot of games where you don't play particularly well in the first half, but those guys come out of the second half and they're ready. Their guns are blazing. They get back in it. They take a 21 to whatever lead and go 8 to 2 or 10 to 4 or 10 to 12 zip, and you cut it right back down to a working margin. We do not come out of the gates mentally tough, and that's tough. You got to find a way to win hard games. You got to go through some of these moments right here with guys, and they'll remember this game for a long time. Some of our younger players, and then hopefully we'll set the tone of how you got to do things moving forward and be better at it. But disappointed. I'm disappointed for our fans. I'm disappointed for the players. We're better than we are tonight.
How do you, as a coach, deal with this with the players? Is this a situation where you read them, or is it you let it speak for itself and you say,
tell the truth.
This is bad?
Tell the truth, make no excuses, and move on. One thing you can do with a team like this, a loss like this, you address it and you move on. Because the one thing is, there's no point of dwelling on it, because guys they're not going to get better from just getting drilled. I think everybody knows tonight wasn't a very good night for our basketball program, but you take every negative, make it a positive. We got to find a way to get extreme amount of evidence to these guys, and tell them the truth, move on, keep working to get better, find a way on Sunday.
Mike?
Can you update Colin's situation? Is he going to be out a couple weeks or so?
Yeah, timetable undetermined. Feel bad for Colin. He's worked really hard when he's been able to string together a lot of practices. You know, he's showing the signs he's going to play an important role. Big step last weekend, playing 15 minutes, practiced all week, and then, you know, unfortunately for him, the day before the game, he tweaks his groin. So we'll deal with it. I think it's day to day. I expect him to be out, you know, a long period of time in terms of he won't be back tomorrow. You know, it's going to be an issue. We're going to deal day to day, a couple weeks. I don't know, but I feel bad for him. He's worked hard. Hopefully he catches a break here soon.
Greg?
Archie, you said you're going to look at the start. Does that mean changing the lineup? Do you even have?
I think it starts there. I think it starts with how are we starting the game, and you know what's happening at the start of the game, what happens at the second half, you know, the start of the second half, and how can we look at that and make that a positive for us, or maybe that's not the problem. I don't know, but I think it starts with how are we starting. You know, what is our approach to start the basketball game?
When you say it starts there, how? How about who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, I think looking at both. Starts with who's in the game at the start, and then it goes into what are the problems and why are those problems having with that group. And maybe it isn't the problem. I don't necessarily know, but we're clearly not ready to go at the very beginning.
You don't strike me as a big dreamer, but you had to be thinking about this game for a while. Is this a nightmare start?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this game since we actually took it on. You know, I think Indiana State's a terrific program. I think Coach Lansing does a good job. And I think anytime you put together, you know, these type of matchups here, you know, you better be ready. You better be ready because you know exactly what you're getting on that other end. And I knew that was going to be part of tonight. And, you know, they were a ready team. And I'm not looking at this and concerned about the future of the program, but it's reality. We're here, you know, and I think if anyone who's smart is going to look at our schedule and say these guys got the work cut out for them, and let's see what they can do.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.